You got dreams closer than a match, and plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They can't take it to 10. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks very much. Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with their opponents. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. He's got the first down here inside the 30. 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson. His 17th touchdown now on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Vikings under 6-year head coach Mike Zimmer. Leading them out as their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go play action. Cousins nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
After the sack on 1st down, Cousins.
You better be ready next time.
Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone can go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
With it is Jackson. Fights through, and now a crease. Deshaun Jackson off to the races. Touchdown, Philadelphia. He goes 67 yards on the punt return. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Doug Peterson says, let's go for 2 here.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Here's Miles Sanders, the rookie 2nd-rounder from Penn State. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Just like that.
Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Looking to throw. Sanders. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Quickly now a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here because we missed out talking about these guys on the opening drive because they were in the end zone before we had a chance to even say anything. But let's keep an eye on these wideouts. QB already has 1 touchdown pass. You know he's looking for a few more before this one's over. Those wideouts will get plenty of opportunities to try and score again.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the number 1 overall offense in the league.
To throw is Sanders. Throwing on 3rd and long. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 87 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking...
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, and normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On play action, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Here's Jackson to return. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. That punt return 66 yards, and it goes the distance as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
That's the second touchdown return of the game. And, yes, we're only in the first quarter.
How about that for a start? So he's on pace for 8. You think he gets there?
I don't see how. But right now, he's got to like what he's getting done.
Yeah, he likes it. His team loving it. Elliott on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see... the Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
From the 25 on second down, Cousins. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Here's Jackson. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
60 Pittsburgh. 54. Mike, 54. All day, dog.
This is the former Nittany Lion, the rookie Miles Sanders. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast. Taking it right down Broadway. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31, as his guys continue to pour it on. Elliott now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To try again after the sack, Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And Charles got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. On the return, Jackson. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here are the Eagles to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. And this one is right down Broadway. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this second. And he's going to go down again.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Arnold. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a 1st down. Back to throw. Arnold. It's caught by Jackson. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. Arnold. It's caught by Aguilar. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards and a 1st down for Philly. This quarterback now already over 200 yards in this 1st quarter. And he's got another 1st and 10. And he finds Howard complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now, 1st quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
We play to win. Let's go.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early, but that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malcolm Jenkins, the strong safety, swoops in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. Right back to Sanders on first down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And some room to run now. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. On 1st and 10, Arnold. Well, that's complete to Sanders. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. He won't go. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year as his guys continue to pour it on. Elliott on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score Eagles 63, Vikings nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Let's go!
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swapped.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Fletcher Cox make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. That's pulled in at the 32. The quick feet by Jackson. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Check. Hey, exit. Check. Five.
To throw again. Arnold. Going up top. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got a 1st and 10 at their own 25. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Meanwhile, here a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts. Understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
6-6, pull it hard. Get it.
On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Elliott now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half.
Next to score, Eagles 77. Vikings nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
If he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's Matt Wild now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now that'll kick out of bounds, and this is going to be spotted back at their own 30. Oh, man. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones at a first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Throwing on first down. Arnold. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar. His 14th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
Brandon, what we just saw there were two guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Elliott on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that?
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Nigel Bradham in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, partner, this is where I need the color commentator. I'm not sure what to say about that one.
Hey, you and me both, my man. Let's just let that one go and move on.
Deal. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Here's Sanders throwing again. Dancing to his left. Breaks through the contact. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Let's go.
Now Sanders on 1st and 10. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Sanders now to throw again. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
Squeeze.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Sanders. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, a big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw it a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
Back to throw. Arnold to the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. 2nd and 2 toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're trying to dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Here's Matt Weil now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And it's fielded at the 34. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
A good pickup there at 22. This quarterback now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And shutting him off, now open field. There he goes left side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. Doug Peterson says, let's go for 2 here.
Let's go, D. Big series.
They're going to try and run. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And a touchdown there to help them expand the lead.
All you're looking for is as much separation between you and the other team as possible. They've got to feel good about what that touchdown gives them.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And taken right on the 30. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big, because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey with his second touchdown here in this first half, as his guys continue to pour it on. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Elliott Good with a PAT, and the route is on here in this first half. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now, what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
The 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers, and, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
Let's see if he can do just that. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Third and long for Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Graham, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So a change of possession here on the punt. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second. And he'll score! Touchdown, Eagles! It's their quarterback. 43 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back. Line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now, second quarter, you're losing, you're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, they'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Cousins to throw it. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
With it is Jackson.
Let's go, baby.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the tuck and run. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Now he'll pull it down. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Their mobile quarterback with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Fielded at the 33. A good return there, 17 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. And, folks, this is a 67-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin with a couple of teams that have met twice in Super Bowls going back to the 70s and 80s. Washington on the road to take on Miami. And it's the Redskins who have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes for the veteran Alex Smith. From there, we head up to Kansas City. Check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. Deshaun Watson on fire. 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. 38-14, the final score.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Throwing, Cousins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far. Here's Jackson. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Well, later tonight, we have more football. Sunday night football, a good one out west. Steelers and Chargers might see equal amounts of black and gold mixed with a powder blue in the stands for that one. And then tomorrow, Monday night football, Detroit and Green Bay battle in the NFC North from Lambeau Field. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now Cunningham. And an alley to run. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
It's a gain of 8.
On 3rd and 2, Cunningham shakes off the sack. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory.
Come on, baby.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Cunningham. The quick slant caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Jackson to return. And some strong running. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Mark that down as a punt return of 78 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
All right, count him along with me. That's his 3rd return for a touchdown in this game. Why is the ball being kicked to him? That would be my question.
I was just going to ask you the same question because we see 2 occasionally. I mean, very rare. 3, unbelievable. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3-and-out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Play action now. Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. And it's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. On the return, Jackson. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road to be fairly clear
by the time
we have to leave the booth.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. And this stadium is abuzz after that one, understandably so. I cannot believe he hit that thing.
And you can't help but think back to Tom Dempsey. And his record stood for, what, 43 years until Matt Prater broke it? And now here's a new record. And I'm with you. I cannot believe that ball went through the posts.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Cunningham, and an alley to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
First down, Eagles.
On 1st and 10, Cunningham. Looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. This is fielded at the 27. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And am I seeing this correctly? They brought out the field goal team here on first down. And this from the parking lot, from an even 70 yards out. And this one is right down the middle. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So he's got another field goal, his 4th now in the game. He's making it look easy out there.
He certainly is, and they're always aiming for a swing of the leg that repeats under pressure, right? So nothing's different. He's got that right now because confidence is breeding confidence.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Push him back. Push him back.
Now Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Give to Cook out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
So possession goes over here on the punt. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at that time, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 43.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. LaShawn McCoy off to the races. 30. 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. LaShawn McCoy. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. They've done a good job of holding him down in the first half, but he explodes for a big one right there.
Yeah, I've got an image in my head of him being surrounded by a bunch of people, really, with ropes and other things trying to keep him locked in. But eventually they got tired, too. And just as you noted, he broke out.
And it's a guy that usually you can only keep down for so long. Doug Peterson says, let's go for 2 here.
54. Hey, tighten down. There you go. 54.
Here's Cunningham. Being chased out left. And they're a perfect 5 for 5 now on 2-point conversions as he is in to get them 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. Cousins now. He's going to air one out. He's got a man. Complete. The 30. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 69 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. To throw is Cousins. His throw incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Throw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel...
Now a hit and a loose football. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. So a teammate picking him up. That was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Cousins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and it's 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins, and that's incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
A 46-yard attempt.
Bailey's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or in this case, a field goal.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a pass hauled in downfield. It's a big play there for the Eagles. And even 40 yards. Now a first down throw, Cunningham.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. How about that? Their quarterback. 36 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those two TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And now out comes Minnesota. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On play action, Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing is Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. And his throw here's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, it's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by. But that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far. But it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Vikings. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is. I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they've put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance where they took control of this game. how they've managed to keep control of this game. And then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. On second down, it's McCoy. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They'll go again to McCoy. And an alley to run. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Check 26, check 26.
Now McCoy. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. LaShawn McCoy with his second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw, Cousins. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. The 3rd down run gets them nothing.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at about the 14. Busts through the tackle. Breaks free again. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Cunningham. It's caught by Aguilar. And a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38 8-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
That's us, all way, baby, yeah.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Deshaun Jackson off to the races. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Officially 91 yards on the punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Let's just call that play what it was. Bold, dashing, daring, and a big-time return for a touchdown.
Fielding a punt inside the 10. Most coaches, they frown upon that, don't they?
They really do. I do know some special teams coaches who say, okay, I'll let you go to about the 8, and you're right in that gray area, and he made that play work in a massive way.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 40. Whoa! It still won't go down. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run it with McCoy. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. LaShawn McCoy, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on, like, the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind. But he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Throwing. Cousins. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So a change of possession here on the punt. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. A chance here on this drive to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark.
Throw him the ball. Throw him the ball. Forget.
LeGarrette Blount. He's at the 50. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. LeGarrette Blount, 77 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No,
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
They'll try and run it with McCoy. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, and go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Cousins to throw it.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Graham make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll set up a throw, and that will be incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. With it is Jackson. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Come on.
McCoy. And an alley to run. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That burst good for 20 and a first down. On 1st and 10, Cunningham. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's McCoy. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. An 8-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one. Does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
To kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Cousins now toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Cousins.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here's Jackson. Might have needed just one more block. As it stands, 37-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. First throw now for the backup Wentz. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Cousins. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Looking deep downfield. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. Just keeping the play alive. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play.
It's caught inside the 25. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier.